You and I, let's just clear the air. We had a lot of problems early in our relationship.
We did?
Yeah, because you said, I want to have fun, and New England's not fun, and I went right after you, and you came back to me. So let's clear it up. Do you regret saying, I want to have more fun and not necessarily win every year?
I think I expressed myself, and I was able to live with the aftermath. So, hey, after about a week of getting heckled, I was good, man.
You were okay with it?
I was good.
You like to have fun?
Yeah, hey, but the other side is, hey, we're putting in work too. Just come and watch.
Okay. So let me talk about this. So you go to Philadelphia. You're a small-town kid, and you go to Philadelphia. And Oklahoma fans love their football. Philadelphia's crazy town. It is intense. Were even you went to a high school that loved football. You go to Oklahoma football. What was your first feeling about Philadelphia, the intensity of it?
It can be intimidating. It can kind of be overwhelming. At first when you walk in there, you're the 4th overall pick. You have Jason Peters, who's a future Hall of Famer. Okay, you're supposed to implement that guy and be just like him. So that's from the get-go. And I think my welcome to Philly moment was my 3rd game. We played the Chiefs. And the 4th quarter, give up 2 or 3 sacks, Colin, and it wasn't good for me. And
they boo, and they get after you.
Oh, yeah, they do more than boo. And but after that, I mean, it's kind of earn your stripes city. So you go out there and show what you can do. If you can go through tough love, brotherly love, then you'll be good.
Carson Wentz is somebody I've supported. I love him. I think he's a gamer. I'm a huge fan. There's been these reports that have leaked for several years. I don't know if he's a good leader. My takeaway is, I don't know. My eyes tell me, I watch you guys around him, it looks like he leads. I thought that at the end of this year he was spectacular. Where do you think those stories come from?
When you don't win. We were 9-7 last year, 8-8, or whatever we were. We have expectations. I mean, ever since winning the Super Bowl, I mean, we've, our goal is to get to the playoffs and do well and start winning. And I think nobody faced more scrutiny, I think, over the past couple of years than Carson. I think it was a weird predicament he was in with Nick Foles. I mean, how many times has anything like this happened before?
He's got Nick Foles as a statue at the stadium.
You have a statue at the stadium, man. Hey, and you have to go to work every day. I think he did a good job of ignoring the noise. I think he really worked his tail off this year. They had the whole injury-prone label, this and that. I think he did a good job of working through it. I think he ignored the distractions. And I think he answered a lot of questions this year, especially with lots of injuries. You take a lot of big play receivers away from different teams, see how they respond. I think he responded well, did a good job of, creating big plays, not very many turnovers, and really just being efficient. And I think he showed a lot this year when his back was against the wall.
Lane Johnson brought to you by Mercedes, the best or nothing. Philadelphia is an organization. They paid Wentz early. They pay. If they like you, they pay. Mm-hmm. They'll cut you if they don't like you. They'll trade you. They're aggressive. But if they like you, they'll pay you. Mm-hmm. Dallas is in a situation where they've paid everybody except Dak. They paid Jalen Smith early. They paid Zeke 2 years early. They paid Tyron Smith forever. They pay you. If they like you, they pay you. They brought Jason Witten back. They'll pay him. They haven't paid Dak. You faced him. You've seen him multiple times. He's beaten you before. Mm-hmm. I think Wentz is a better pure player than Dak is. What are your just interpretations of Dak having faced him 5 or 6 times?
Well, I know he's a guy in Dallas. I know that he's well-liked by his team. I think he's a great leader from what I've heard, been around him. And really, I don't think he hasn't done a whole lot of bad there. I think he's been pretty consistent. I mean, just like you said earlier, it all goes down to winning playoff games. That's how you're seen as a quarterback. What have you done? And so there's lots of questions for a lot of guys out there. But is he one of the up-and-comers? Yes. I think I don't know where he's going to land if he's going to be in Dallas. I think, with free agency, it's all about timing. And I think, with what they do, it's all about strategy. So I think wherever he goes, he's going to get paid. And I think with, every other NFL player, you're going to get your chance to prove your worth.
You have faced that Cowboy team, that Cowboy defense up front multiple times. Mm-hmm. Now, they pay a lot of people on offense, Lane. They paid their offensive lineman. They're going to pay Amari, probably franchise tag him. They paid Zeke. Defensively, they've got really good linebackers in Dallas. But when you line up with your own line on their defensive front, just how good are they? How good is Dallas's? I hear a lot of all I know is this. Your O-line's good. How's their D-line personnel?
They're one of the more talented, I think, teams that I've seen last year. When you look across the board, pretty sound secondary, a beast in Byron Jones. You have a great young linebacking core, Van Der Esch and Smith. You have DeMarcus Lawrence, who everybody's looking at the sack total. When I watch a game, I see a guy who's disruptive. If he's not making the sacks he had last year, why? Is he getting double-teamed a lot? Yeah, he is. Is he still the same player? Yes. I think when you look at it, it's really a weird team to diagnose just from the talent base. and kind of their production. What were they, 8-8, whatever they were this year? So it's from an outside perspective looking in, it's very confusing as to why they're not better.
So at the end of the year, your team fell apart physically. Carson Wentz pretty much put the team on his back and said, I'm going to use scout team guys, and I'm going to get us to the playoffs, which he did. But we didn't expect much from you guys. You just didn't have your personnel. It's a players' league. Everybody's looking to get Lane Johnson in the draft. There's going to be 5 offensive tackles. They're looking for the next you. What did you feel when the team fell apart physically? You guys didn't bail. It would have been so easy in week 12. We're done. Take me to what it was like in the room, knowing you had scout running backs. You had scout receivers.
Well, I think it's easy when you get in that predicament because the expectations are minimal. So you're not expected to do a whole lot. So that was pretty similar with kind of our theme the past, few years. Even last year's pretty similar scenario. Everybody was hurt. We're a couple plays away from, maybe being back in the Super Bowl or in the game with the Rams. So just with what we've done the previous 2 years, I think that's kind of our culture, kind of the identity that we've created. Hasn't begun early, but usually around playoff times when we kind of come out firing all cylinders. So ultimately it's not, it's what it is. We lost the first round of the playoffs. It's not our goal. You can make all this and that about the arguments, but ultimately when you go back in the years, all you see is the record. You don't see about what happened. So obviously we got some work to do.
You're going to go draft a wide receiver. Many believe that. Get some more speed. Deshaun Jackson, who I ran in at the Super Bowl, I like Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. That guy's a contagious. You're around.
His energy is contagious.
It's incredible. Yeah. He literally, were you with me? Who was with me? I walked into a room and saw Deshaun Jackson. You literally can't smile. You cannot not smile when he's around you. He is just.
And he brings that to the field. So anytime he's on the field, you have that big play threat. You know it. Everybody on the field knows it. That's a big dynamic to your offense.
So the NFL is going to propose one more regular season game. My argument is it's an opportunity for you guys.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to get more money, get more insurance, take care of your family. A lot of people are like, we don't need more games. Only 14 days a year now, I think you're allowed to wear pads. I think the number is not.
It's going down.
So it does. My takeaway is, Lane, you guys hit less than ever.
Yep.
So if somebody said, here's another game check, I would consider it.
The argument's tough. I think what a lot of players like to see is obviously the preseason go down from 4 to whatever it is.
How about to none?
To none, yeah. And then
Oklahoma didn't have a preseason.
Yeah.
Did theirs fine.
It was called training camp. That was a preseason.
Right.
Yeah, but ultimately I think, maybe if they could throw another bye week, players would like that too.
So you would like a bye week?
Another bye week, yeah. 2, so maybe 2 in a season if they want to do that. I've heard players talk about that scenario. I think that'd be good, is what it is.
How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? You play probably outside of running back, the most physically daunting position. You have to use your hands, pass rush. You face the best athletes. How do you feel when you get up after all these years in the league?
Personally, I feel pretty good. I came from an athletic background, so I think that kind of helped with the transition. But obviously, you're going to take your blows as you age. You got to train different, but that's what the vets are for. You see how these guys, it's all been done before. I look at these guys who have done it, who have succeeded. I got a blueprint in Jason Peters, and I'm really, I've been with him every day since I've been there. So, good situation for me.
Best player you faced in the NFL. Have you faced Nick Bosa yet?
Haven't faced Nick Bosa. I faced Joey.
Joey's not quite, in my opinion, not quite as athletic.
He's longer.
He's longer, but I don't think he's quite as athletic as Nick.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance. What pops off to me is whenever I first watch them is their hand usage is elite. Their ability to set guys up with speed, get a guy turned, and then work, hand usage or beat them around. So there's, they have a great pedigree, I think, of where they came from. The first thing that pops off to me is their hand usage is off the charts. They get
the
guys.
Bosas, they know what they're doing.
Throw your hands out there, you're going to get nunchucked out of the way. So
really,
they're really good with that. Yeah.
So when you go to camp, when's your next camp?
Next camp, well, we start OTAs in April 20th. That's when we start.
What do you do in the off season? Sit around and eat
Doritos
half and Doritos.
I'm having fun eating Doritos. No, really, I think after the season's over, you try to get your body back in alignment for what I do. I'm in a right-handed tackle stance, so my body is really off. I guess what do you call it, asymmetrical. So you have to get your body back balanced a lot. A lot of core, some Pilates work, and other than that, you kind of ramp it up. You don't want to go too hard during OTAs, but it's all premeditated. So you want to have your training right, and as the season progresses, you want to be stronger. You don't want to, I guess, rah now and be a casualty in December or January.
You're going to your first heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
You ever in a boxing match yourself?
Yeah, I went to the Pacquiao with Thurman.
Did you ever consider boxing?
I went and trained one time. After that, I changed my mind.
That's what Charles Barkley said about football.
There's nothing more humbling than going there. I mean, obviously, you win and lose in football, but I couldn't imagine being knocked unconscious and having that possibility going out there in the ring and doing that.
It is frightening, right?
Yeah.
I told you, tomorrow you're going to go. Boxing's the only sport I've gone to, and as the fighters come in, I get nervous. I've never gone to a football game and been nervous.
Yeah,
I get nervous.
You feel that energy when it walks in the room.
No, Tyson fights, I would literally be, honestly, I would be like, I felt bad for the opponent. You're going to feel something Saturday night. It's just an incredible, you're going to have so much fun. I hope you got good seats.
I'm excited, yeah, and I think it's, the amped up. I think they did a great job in the first fight. I think the second fight.
Who do you like?
I mean, skillfully, I think Tyson may be the better fighter, but it's hard to ignore somebody who's knocked out 41 of, 43 opponents. How do you argue? It's tough to argue with.
Right.
But, yeah, I think Fury's, Wilder's, you say more athletic. I think Fury does a good job with his movement. He's not going to stay stationary.
By the way, he can weigh 270.
270. He's got 85-inch reach. He does a good job of picking and choosing his battles. So it's like a game of chess. It's kind of, with football, it's like a game of chess. You get to these upper echelon, and what you're doing, it's a chess match.
Yeah. It's great seeing you in person. Continued success. I have Philadelphia once again winning the NFC East next year. I picked them this year. Howie Roseman, your owner, your coach, your quarterback. It's a big-time operation, man. You could have ended up, I'm not even going to say the team we talked about. There's bad places in this league to end up. You ended up at a good place.
Yeah, very fortunate. I'm ready for the next 4 years. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.